Hello, hello, and welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing better than me. As you can hear from my voice, I have a very bad cold at the moment. So what I want to do today is go through the NPC customization aspect of the Any Way You Want It tool. So you can see in the background that there's Astarion. Now, if you're wanting to just change your origin appearances, you can do that through Any Way You Want It, but I would recommend just going through the Appearance Edit Enhanced. And if you're experiencing coloring issues, you can use that with the NPC and Origins Eye, Skin and Hair colors for tab. These two used together work flawlessly. There is also the Origin Mirror Unlock, which I have not used myself, but apparently it works great. So if you're only wanting to change your origins, I wouldn't waste your time with the Any Way You Want It tool, to be honest. Just use these ones. You can change the origins, of course, through any way you want it, because that's the point. It's just there's a couple extra steps for origins. I wouldn't bother. So here we are on the beach, Astarion in the background. I'm just going to boot up the tool. So as you can see, I've made these splash screens. So you've got Aaron and Giorna and Minnow, I think. So I've just shown how they could potentially be transformed, which I thought was fun. So there's a whole range of those splash screens that I'm very proud of. So you'll get to see them the more you play the tool. So I'm just going to go through and just pick a random scene here with Astarion, because I can right click on his name and I get this menu here, which has got all these little shortcuts, and that will appear anytime there's a character name or a character portrait. So same on the God mode, works there, works there, works there. In the Gossip, if you go to the Party Band and you select them, it goes there. This is just a shortcut to make your life a little bit easier, so you don't have to go to a different tab to do something simple. And it'll work all here. So going back to the cutscene tab. So just give it a second if you want to pause the video to see all these options. I won't go through them today, it's not very exciting. So what I am going to do is I'm going to customize Astarion. So there he is in the background. So I've got Astarion here, and I can also do this through the speakers or the God mode or blah 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 blah, but let's just do it here. Right click. Now I have already made him and Alfira instant origins, which is something I've discussed in another video, and I'll probably do another video just on that. If you want to watch my really long video and just skip to the instant origins part, you'll see this work. So Alfira and Astarion are already set up. If they weren't, I could just right click, make Astarion an instant origin. You can't do that while the game is running, but you can customize him. So we're back in the character customization, and of course we've got our unusual origins, and we've got a whole bunch of instant origins that I've made. I was doing some bug testing. So we've got Astarion here. So originally his colours were wrong, and now his colours are a lot better. They're not quite right, but they are getting there. So I'm just going to choose this Astarion actually, and I'm going to proceed. Oops. No, I'm not. I'm going to edit appearance. I am not a hack. I know what I'm doing. So this is Astarion. Anyway, let's say you're an insane person, you think Astarion is not perfect, and you want to make some changes to him. So let's make him blue. Nothing wrong with being blue. Let's give him some cool tattoos. Let's change his eye colour. He's blue, ba dee da will die. He's blue, ba dee da will die. Sorry, I'll stop that now. Oh, so he's obviously still Astarion, but he's also not Astarion anymore. He's different. I'm going to give him red eyes. There we go, we've got Astarion, so we're going to go proceed. We're going to unproceed again. And now here, without any trick photography, without anything crazy, we have changed Astarion into this weird drow, Darth Maul sort of hybrid dude. And if I come over and talk to him, he is still Astarion. And I know that a lot of you are thinking, well, that's cool and all, but that's not very exciting. We've already had the ability to transform origins because you already mentioned the mods that do that. Why are you wanting us to use this one as well? So what I'll do is I'm going to go into the God mode. I'm going to select Alfira. Alfira's down here. I'm just going to scroll through. So the problem with Alfira is she is locked to that appearance. You can't change her the way you could change an origin. As far as I'm aware, there's no mods that do that for you. There's maybe a few one-offs that let her be customizable. There's not a universal one that does it for everyone. Until now. So what I want to do is I'm going to just show you, if I strip her clothes, nothing happens. If I remove her disguise, nothing happens. I've already made her an instant origin, so I'm just going to click customize. And this is all you need to do. That's all you need to do. You click the button. You select who she is. If you didn't use instant origins, you just have a custom tab and you can change her using the custom options. but I thought ahead, a clever cookie, and I selected AWYWI because I just want to make some minor changes. So just to show, I'm going to change her hair. And now, without any trick photography before your very eyes, we have a customized AWYWI. Completely customized. So let's go through here. So I did this. Again, this is not a requirement, but I went through and I used my clothing options to extract her outfit. So I have a full outfit set as armor. You can see it's locked. It's locked those 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. I've also done her skirt, her pants, her corset, and her collar as independent items. All you have to do is add to tab. I'll give you more options for that. Again, I'll just briefly touch on that. You select the character you want. You select whether you want a full outfit or parts of their outfit. You lock parts of the outfit together if you want. You can rename it. You can change the slot to wherever it is you want to go, so you can mix and match outfits. It also works with hats and hair and horns. I don't recommend doing it with hair and horns because they're clothes options. Why would you layer it? But it will work. So I come through here. Dirge has now got outfit, skirt, pants, corset, collar, and a bunch of dyes because I prepped this in advance. And I really must stop forgetting to add her as a companion because you can't change her if she's not a companion because you don't have access to her inventory. Send to AWYWI. So here's AWYWI. I've already put her in Dirge's... No, I haven't put her in Dirge's underwear. Just put her in camp clothes. So I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put her in her collar. And I could just have her wear that, and I could dye that, I believe. Yep, so I could dye that to be what I want. And I'm going to put her in her corset, and I'm going to dye that to what I want. Whoever invented the dyeing system, I want to have a word with you. Use Az's Easy Dye. It's much, much better. I just don't have it on at the moment. See how I'm changing all these components? Now for a skirt. They will have icons, it's just something I haven't done yet. Change all that. So as you can see, I've changed all those components, and I can take them off if I wanted. So you could have her in whatever, so you could just, if you just wanted her to have the skirt and the corset over something else, you can do that. You can mix and match clothes as much as you want. I will look at breaking down these standard clothes as well, so you can do the same. So you could get the shirt and the pants and the boots or whatever it is. Instead of being one locked object, it'll just be 1, 2, 3, or however many components there are, so you can break it down. So I know that this one is actually 3, so it's the pants, it's the shirt, and it's that belt. Those are 3 components, and I will unlock those for you. I just haven't done it yet. And then of course we've got the full outfit, which is just the one where I've locked on the 4 of them. You could lock 3 of them if you didn't want to have you could do whatever you want. That's the point of this mod that I keep going on about. Any way you want it. Change it to pink, and you're fine, you'll do this. So we have this fully customized AWYWI. We can take her clothes off. We can make her walk around her underwear. If you want Gortash to be walking around in nothing but his underwear for the whole show, you can do that. You just have to change it. If you've got a modded outfit that you really want one character to wear, I know that I have Raphael in a better outfit usually. I could do that myself. I wouldn't have to rely on somebody else to make those decisions for me. I could customize it however I wanted it to be customized to be with the character, and they'll just go in the game and exist like this. And all I have to do is make all those changes and remove her as a companion, and she'll go back to doing her usual regularly scheduled broadcast in this new look. No matter what she's wearing, it doesn't make a difference. So the reason she's using the violin instead of the lute is because I changed her to a bard, it's changed her instrumental. What I have to do is just add her as a companion again. Put that away, give her the lute again. Put this away as well, just in case. Remove her as a companion. She'll go back to normal. She's got a lute. That's all you have to do. And she will stay like that for the game. And if you interact with her, she stays like that. Whatever you do to her is fine. So one thing I don't recommend is transforming her into something outside her usual thing. And I will see, it is a bit of a buggy thing, but let's see if I can get it to work. So if I went to God mode, oh, and if at any point you decide you hate it and you want to restore it back, all you have to do is click Remove Disguise. She goes back to the way she was. You can't then flick back and forth between characters, but I am going to try, I think, instituting a way you can make your own visuals and like lock them to a button or to your own UUID code, and I'll put them in the advanced, and you can just create a tab that you love, save it, and then constantly reload that tab. I will look into it. I can't make any promises. So I'm going to customize. And we're just going to pick a body type 4. And just to make the point, I think actually I will make it a Dragonborn. Yep, that'll do. Proceed. This is probably not going to work, but I don't know how badly it's not going to work. Yeah. Of course it's working this time. Yeah, so this one's actually working better than it usually does. So rather annoyingly, this is working better than it usually did, so I may have accidentally fixed it doing all my bud testing. But sometimes what happens, especially when you're interacting with them, is changing their body type does lead to issues, usually. I might have fixed that, in which case I am a genius. I didn't even know I'd fixed it, but more likely I just haven't triggered what caused the problems. So yeah, if you want to change them into something dramatic, you can try. So as you can see, she's not holding the loot because the model type is too different. You're going to get little bugs like that if you change the body type, but usually the bugs are more dramatic. I may have accidentally fixed it. Who knows? So we're back here with Darth Maul Astarion. I'm just going to show you how the magic mirror component works. So you just come through, you click it, you can see him in the background, his transform got stripped out, and it's just taking you to the window as it always would. So what you can do is you can click Astarion, turn him back, but you may also click him, edit his appearance. I'm just going to quickly make him a redhead just to show the difference. Proceed, proceed. If you get to this, if you cancel out of this window, it will take you back to the main menu because it thinks you're at the start screen. So if you ever make a mistake and you screw it up and you don't want to do anymore, it's best to just venture forth and then strip the disguise out, then try and cancel and go back. Although I will put in an autosave. So as you can see, he's been transformed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take his clothes off and you're going to see a problem. Firstly, he has such a lovely butt, but also he has no scars. And this is because when he was made an instant origin, and this is also why his skin is different colour to his head, I have to check into that, it creates just a default elf body. And Astarion, while he has a default elf body, he also has like a skin over the top, I suppose you'd call it, or he has a unique body, I'm actually not sure. So he loses the scars as an instant origin. So what you could do is you could come through here and you could use the instant origins or one of the tabs to just remove disguise and he goes back to himself. You can also use the magic mirror or, well, I'm going to just move it around to make it activate. Use the magic mirror or use the right click customization option. You could select the Astarion that's always there. So we've talked about at the start that there is no edit appearance without the altered appearance, the appearance edit enhanced mod, which I recommend you want to do. If you're wanting to transform the origins, I recommend you use that mod, not this one. This one does let them transform, but that's not the point of it. That's just a tangential outcome of the things I've been doing. So now that he's there, he's got his scars back again. I probably could fix this so that you could use the instant origins with the scars. I am probably not going to do that because the point is not to replace this mod. This mod is great. Download this if you just want to change your origins. It's whether you want to change your NPCs and do the cutscenes and do the dialogue tree and do the flags. And that's everything else. This is very good at doing what it does. Recommend it highly. So for those of you who have ever tried doing transforms on your own, either through the SE command console or other tools, you're going to know all about this problem where I'm transforming Alfira to Nocturne. You would be doing this on your own and you're going to see straight away the problem. That nothing happens. And this is common for pretty much all the NPCs because you can only transform previously NPCs into NPCs when you're in the same act as them. And if you swapped acts, the transform would strip away. I didn't know that because by coincidence I happened to have a mod that was fixing it. Until patch 8 rolled around, I just coincidentally uninstalled that one mod that I thought was unrelated and my whole program broke and I was freaking out. So I did manage to figure out who the mod author was and I spoke to them and they gave me some instructions on how to fix it. So thank you to them. They want to remain anonymous, so I'm going to respect that. I do also want to give a shout out to Mazel. So Mazel also helped me through it and he had already made his Oops All characters at that point, I believe, or he whipped it together to give me a hand, but he has ended up releasing it on its own, so Oops All characters. He's also put an NPC enemy spawner in there. So this mod will overcome the act lock if you're just wanting that. Any way you want it is not dependent on any other mods or tools beyond the SE command console. I'm just giving Mazel a shout out because he helped me when I was very stressed and trying to fix it, and this was basically what he did. And so I've done something very similar but within my own mod based on the other mod author's work. So it's all a bit confusing. So Mazel has also made Tav's journal, which is amazing. Look at this. You can create a journal using your pictures in-game, and you can export it as pictures. So if you're role-playing, or you just like having quite a nice little story and you can write notes and you can add all this stuff in, so I'd highly recommend checking that out. Thank you to Mazel, who helped me through a nervous breakdown. And yes, so this tool, if that's all you want to do is undo the act lock, then I'd recommend this tool. If you're wanting to do a lot more stuff, stick around. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to turn the mod on. So one more time, now if you're at a nocturne, drop in, nothing happens. So I'm just going to go and turn the mod on. 3, 2, 1, bye. So generally speaking, the only reason I was able to do that is because I suppress these checks. So I suppress the SE console, the BG3, the Anywhere You Want It, and the IO mod checks. And you can see down the bottom of the tab where it's brown, it says they're all suppressed. So if I unsuppress these, you can see they turn gold. Now, if they were unsuppressed and there was something wrong, they would turn red. So if I suddenly close down the game, it would say game not running. And these will basically tell you if there's an immediate error that you need to fix. For example, if I was trying to transform Alfira and Nocturne before and I couldn't get it to work and I didn't know why, then I just glanced down at the bottom and I would realize the Anywhere You Want mod is not installed. It doesn't say if it's switched on or not, it just says whether it's there. So I'll leave it up to you. But now that it is on, you can see down the bottom, Anywhere You Want a mod confirmed. I can go transform, I can go Alfira to Nocturne, I can go transform and copy equipment, and Alfira becomes Nocturne. So I'll just add her, and I'm just going to add her as a companion. So the only downside is, because we haven't set her up at all, we've just transformed the NPC to the NPC, she is not customizable. She has that fixed hair, fixed horns, fixed face, and fixed outfit. Interesting side note, they actually have the same face. So swapping between the two of them would be pretty easy to do. So let's say you did want Alfira to be a customized version of Nocturne. The process would be, you'd go into the instant origins, you'd pick Nocturne, you'd make your selections here. So you would not hard lock the clothes if you wanted her to be customizable, or maybe you'd hard lock one of the clothes. Maybe you want her gloves to be hard locked, whatever you'd do. You'd create her as an origin. So if I show you here, it will come up. You can make her as an origin there. You can add her to the batch. You can do a batch of origins. So let's say you've got 10 people you want to do. You just add them to the batch and then you make them all origins. After that, if you wanted her clothing, you go into the clothing. Again, you'd find Nocturne. And these are Nocturne's clothes down the bottom here. So she has hair and horns that you can extract. She has a full outfit made up of, let's see if I can expand this, made up of the body, the sleeves, and the pants, and she also has gloves. And so you can pick what you want. You can pick all of them. You can lock them all together so it's just one thing. You can do what you want, and then you select here, and then you could extract the clothing. I haven't done Nocturne's clothing. I've only done Alfira's. So here they go. We've already been over that. And then the process would be you customize Alfira, and Nocturne's details would then be in the CC character creation, and then you just equipped the clothes and you have a customizable version of Nocturne or of whoever you want. That's how it goes. So I'll just do a quick recap. Nothing really new or exciting on the advanced tab. The EA scenes, this is actually great timing. So today was the release of the early access scenes restored by Hyperspace Towel. So that is very exciting. So that puts back in a whole bunch of deleted scenes that a lot of us would never have seen, and that's incredible. I couldn't have done that at all because it involves bringing up scenes and actually editing them, which is far beyond what I can do. I can only tweak what's already there. So Hyper has actually added new things. That's incredible. So over time I will try and hook into that mod, but you do need this to do this. To do this EA Scenes tab. This is not going to be a self-contained thing on this one tab. The clothing we've talked about. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to add where you can search for the actual items in game, and that would include modded items if I can make it work. And then you could do the same as you do here, where you can break them down into their components. So if you had the Bard outfit, which is a belt, a shirt, and pants, and you just wanted the belt, you could then extract the belt as its own clothing item. Instant origins, I haven't done a lot to. The colours are working better now. I think you've noticed on the other one where the colours were a bit skewy, they're a bit better now. Gossip, I haven't made any changes to. The God mode, nothing else has been added. If you have any buttons that you want me to add, let me know. This is just going to be the button page, I think. Flags, I'll show you this. So flags, what I'm going to do is have down the bottom a new section which will allow you to search for your flags, and it'll check what the status is in game, and then you can change it and make override changes, similar to what you do here, but it would actually reflect what's in game. The idea is that you could then use it as a debug. If you found that something had gone wrong in your game and a flag didn't trigger, you could manually trigger it. That is a little bit more for advanced people. I wouldn't advise you go playing with your flags yourself, but it will be there. The dialogue tree. So one thing I have added, I've put in this option to adjust visuals. It's not incorporated yet, but it is working behind the scenes. And what this will do is you'll be able to select it, and you'll be able to select what is appearing in that scene. And by that I mean whether the weapons are visible, whether the helmet is visible, and what clothes you want visible. So if at a certain point you want them to suddenly strip down to their underwear, you would just come through here, adjust it with the adjust visuals, which I have not incorporated yet, but it is working. And then you would just select that you want them naked in this clip. Maybe you want them naked for this clip and this clip, and it will reflect. And you will just need to update the up another button in to update that, and it should reflect immediately in game without you having to shut down, which is kind of fun. I will probably try and put a big override in where you can have helmets on all the time, weapons on all the time. I haven't looked into that too much, but that should work. Nothing's really changed on the speakers tab, to be honest. And the cutscene, nothing. Oh, I've added this notes section, so you can add notes in for yourself if there's stuff you like. You could just put that in, save the notes, and they should pop up the next time it comes through. And that's about it, really. So first thing you're going to go and download this, play it, have great fun, because I think that sounds really, really exciting. Oh, that does remind me. So with Hyper having released that, it's actually pretty good timing because I have been able to restore the patches. So I'm able to toggle between patch 6, patch 7 and patch 8 because they're just the ones I happen to have access to at the moment. The only problem is I have to create a mod to do it, and to create a mod, of course, when you're creating a mod, you have to close down the game and start it up again, which is kind of annoying. My goal was to just have you be able to click this little box and just select the patches and play them like that, but it doesn't seem to be that easy. So we'll keep looking into it, but in any case, I have managed to give you the option to flick between the patches. You would just have to close down the game, start the game up again, do it that way. And I think that's it. I hope this has been super exciting and innovative. It's not so much that I've changed this month. I definitely encourage you to go watch the trailer or go watch the long form video if you are so inclined. You can get me on Discord, Patreon, Reddit, Ko-Fi, anything like that you want to. Discord is probably best. to do a lot of updates there and chat to people more often. If there's anything you want into the tool, let me know. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye.